So these are a series I'm calling right now Design Your Life. And I'm really trying to teach you some pretty simple techniques and tactics you can use inside your current life today to help you design the life you want instead of going through the motions of the life that maybe you're not designing on your own. So, like I said before, our topic tonight is gratitude versus anxiety. And this is a really near and dear topic to me and something I've been exploring a lot in the last, I would say, year or so. And just recently have felt like I've gotten a pretty good grasp on it. And with that, I decided I really wanted to come live and dedicate a whole topic to this concept. Even though it is very simple, I think it's very powerful. And I know many of you out there tonight are probably struggling with anxiety. A lot of people do. It's a very common emotion to have. And so my hope tonight is that this video or this live is going to reach those that need it, and I can help you with a little trick that's going to help you manage some of that anxiety. So with that being said, let me take you back. Back in like 2010, I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we connected with a church out there called Elevation, and we really loved the pastor. His name was Stephen Furtick. And one of the messages he gave, there was a quote. And again, I probably heard this quote in 2010, and it's now 2020, and it has stuck with me. So over a decade ago. And the quote was, when you're anxious for what's to come, it's because you're not grateful for what you have. And he went on to talk about how when you're anxious, you can turn that into gratitude and release the anxiety. And that was always a concept that was really, really interesting to me. And so I've done a lot of research on it. And one thing that I've learned and put into practice, and you can test this out as well, when you're a kid and you have you stub your toe or something and you're complaining about the pain, and so your older brother or sister, or in my case my younger brother, punches you in the arm and you're like, ow, what did you do that for? And they're like, well, now your toe doesn't hurt, because your brain can only process pain in one place. Like, that is just a scientific fact. You can't feel pain in more than one place. So if you hurt in one place and you hit the other, you take the pain away. Well, the same thing is true with gratitude and anxiety. They are two conflicting emotions, and they cannot both be experienced at the same time. And there's a really, really simple reason for that, actually. It's because anxiety lives in the future. So you don't feel anxious about the present. You don't feel anxious about the past. You might feel regret about the past, but anxiety lives in the future. It might be 5 minutes in the future. It might be, sorry, I'm turning this down a little bit. It's a little bit too bright for me. It might be 5 minutes in the future. It could be 5 seconds in the future. It could be 5 years in the future, but anxiety lives, it's an emotion you feel in the present about things that are happening, that could happen in the future. Could being the key word there, right? We don't know what's going to happen in the future. None of us can predict it. And if you can, PM me. I'd love to talk to you about what my future looks like, because that would be awesome. But for the most part, we're along for this ride, and we're living it moment by moment. I don't even know how this video is going to end tonight. I have an idea about it. But I don't know. And every time I go live with one of these messages, I typically spend the week thinking about what I want to present, what's heavy on my mind, and thinking that I know the people that need to hear it are the ones that are going to be listening to it. So how do I speak to them? And so sometimes there's some anxiety that builds up in that. Going live on Facebook or talking in front of crowds, or, especially when it's my own content and it is not a rehearsed script. I do these all off the cuff. I'm much more better on the top of my head than I am rehearsed. And so there can be some anxiety to that, but the anxiety is all about kind of what's the worst that could happen in the future. I could stumble over my words. No one might watch. I might forget what I'm talking about. My daughter might, do whatever she does to distract me. The power could go out. I mean, so many things could happen. Or I could do it as good as I possibly can and nobody likes it. Like, there's so many things that could happen. And that's when anxiety starts to take over. So I want you guys to do me a favor here and think about something in your life right now that you're feeling anxiety over. Maybe it is something that's happening at work, a project that you're doing, a presentation that you have to do. Maybe it's something to do with your kids. Maybe it's a serious conversation you have to have in your relationship. Maybe it is some bills that you don't know how are going to get paid. Maybe it's the mortgage on your house. You know, what are some of the things that you feel anxious over? And then I'm going to teach you a little trick that helps clear out the anxiety. And it doesn't happen instantly, but I promise you, with practice and constant refocusing, you can become a master at this. So I was just sharing, very small scale compared to some of the bigger things in life, how I get anxious. I used to get anxious going live and doing these talks. Like, they make me feel anxiety. When you think about what you're anxious for and then bring it back into the present and find things to be grateful for, you can completely get rid of the anxiety. So in this case, the present moment, I'm actually present right now. If I'm present in this moment, talking to you right now, and the power's on, and there are people watching. I can see that. I can look at my little list and see all my amazing friends there supporting me, which is, I'll just love it. You know, feel free to comment, guys. Don't be shy. It's cool. Share, comment, like, do all the things. But in this moment right now, the words are flowing. I'm feeling grateful that I've got this message that I want to share. I'm grateful that Facebook has allowed me a platform where on Wednesday nights, if I want to choose to talk to a community of people who I believe in my core are chasing dreams, because that's why they want to watch, that I can connect with you instantly. I can do it on my own time, and we can communicate and have this relationship back and forth. All of a sudden, as I focus on that gratitude, the anxiety of what could happen in the future fades away for what is happening in the present. And you can do that with anything that you're anxious about. Are you anxious about a presentation you're giving about at your job? Well, be grateful that you were trusted to give it. Be grateful that you have a job where you are knowledgeable. Be grateful that you have a voice that you can use to the presentation. You know, you can always find things that you're grateful for, even in the hardest of circumstances. So some of you know my story, and I was with Verizon Wireless for 15 years, and I had a really, really successful corporate career. I was an operational person in call centers. I did a lot of call center stuff and strategic planning, and I really enjoyed my job. And at the time, I would have told you I would retire from that company. I was 18 when I started working for Verizon, and so that was the company I thought I would start with and the company I thought I would end with. And so imagine my surprise when I was out on maternity leave with my second baby, and I got the phone call that my job was being relocated to another state, and so I could either move with it or I could take a severance package and be on my own. And we couldn't move. We had just had our second baby, bought a house. Moving was not an option. And so I said goodbye to the only company I'd ever known to set myself up for who knows what was coming next. And I remember calling my mentor on the phone, and I was crying. I was sobbing, like the shoulder shrugging, like can't get any words out, like bawling, because I was so anxious for what was to come. What if I couldn't get another job? What if I couldn't make as much money? What if I didn't like it as much? What if I didn't like my new boss? What if, we end up losing our house because we can't pay the bills because I can't get a new job, and all of these things. And I remember her saying to me, she says, Danny, stop it. This will be the last time you will cry about the situation. Nobody died. You lost a job. Rally around that, and let's be grateful for what is going on. Let's be grateful for the experience that you got from the 15 years of Verizon Wireless. Let's be grateful that you had a choice to either take the package or move with the job. Let's be grateful that you have a lot of talent and that there are a lot of companies that are hiring. Let's be grateful you have somebody like me that will back you and refer you and help you get that next job. Let's be grateful that we have choice. When she starts putting these things in perspective for me, and as each one's being mentioned, I can hear the weight of that anxiety being lifted off of my shoulders. And as luck would have it, that faded into another career that I had shortly after. Spent 3 years with another company before I finally realized I was ready to go out on my own and do my own thing. And that's what brought me to you. But it was that moment of turning that anxiety into immense gratitude that really changed what I believe the trajectory of my life. Because it showed me how powerful it is when you connect with the gratitude of the present over the anxiety of the future. Through that, I realized that people always talk about do you practice gratitude? Do you practice gratitude? And I always said, yeah, I did, because I didn't really understand what that meant. And I really, for a long time, confused being thankful with gratitude. Like, it is very easy to be thankful. When somebody brings you something, you say thank you. When you guys are watching, I'm like, thank you. Like, that's like a current, like, being thankful is one thing. Gratitude is the intentional practice of being grateful for some of the things in your life. So I want to share something with you. For me to do this, I have to walk away from the camera for a split second. So, this is weird. I'm not prepared. For those of you that know me, you're not surprised. Just keep watching. This is cool. You're good. I'm still here. Okay, and look. Just like that, I'm back. No big deal, right? No big deal. So I got this on Amazon. If you're watching this and you're like, Danny, this is great. I want to practice gratitude. I'm anxious as all hell, and I need this in my life, but I don't know where to start. I got you. This is a gratitude journal. This is on Amazon. It costs $7. I can put the link in the comments when we're done. I don't make any money off of this, and I'm not shy about making money off of things. So I kind of feel like before I did this, if I was planning ahead, I would have worked it out with Amazon to make some money, but that's okay. I just want to do you guys a favor by telling you about this amazing gratitude journal. So through the anxiety of starting my own business, creating a community of dream chasers, taking the first couple steps in my journey to be a public speaker, I started feeling more and more anxiety, and I was having a really hard time connecting with the gratitude that I should be feeling in the present. And somebody recommended this journal to me. Start with gratitude. So I went on Amazon immediately and I bought it. And it's a 90-day, I think. I think it's 90 days. Well, I can look and tell you. So I started this gratitude August 4th of 2019. So for those of you that have been tracking on my journey, you might remember I made the decision to quit my job and do this full time July 15th. So about 2 weeks later, that's how much panic I was feeling. I purchased the gratitude journal. It's very simple. It has every morning, it has a place for the date. It has I'm thankful for. And then it gives you at the night, it gives you a prompt for something, and they're always different. So it really makes you think back on your day and find something to be grateful for. And I just want to take a minute, if you will allow me this moment, to kind of browse through some of the beginning entries and share some with you. Because I want you to get an idea of how this changed for me. I went from August 4th, and my last entry in this one was February 13th. February 13th? Yeah, February 13th. So, I'm not sure how many days that is, but that's a good amount of time, right? August, September, October, November, December, January. So 6 months. That was about 6 months. So, sorry. This is kind of emotional. I haven't looked at these since I finished them. So the very first entry that I put in here, I'm thankful for my amazing and supportive husband. Without him, I would never pursue my dreams. So practicing gratitude in the present. Some small victories I had on August 4th. I donated some stuff to Goodwill, and I had a great day on the boat, and I swam with my kids, right? So I reflected back on that. Let's go a little bit. So that's a month later. So this is 9/3/2019, so September 3rd. What I'm thankful for, having Anthony be so excited for his first day of first grade. Like, that's really cool. And then small things that made me smile today, watching Anthony get on the bus. So those are moments. Think about that. Like, in your day-to-day life, do you watch your kid get on the bus and sit there and express gratitude for that? How amazing is that? Like, as a small business, as a business owner and a new entrepreneur, to sit and think about how exciting it was, that's not something that I would have been able to enjoy or experience in my traditional 9-to-5 job. Yeah, I got my son on the bus, but it was a rushed, crazy, chaotic experience. There was nothing joyful in it. And on September 3rd, what I remembered, and I even drew like a little smiley face and a little heart. Let's see, right? Getting Aunt on the bus. Like, that's just awesome. Things that I'm grateful for on September 7th. For I Love Kickboxing Annapolis, which is my kickboxing club. If you're local, you should go. It's amazing. For allowing me to host an event. And then I love this day. Some of you guys watched this day with me on Facebook. If you didn't, you can go back and look at the date. It was September 7th. Find the live. I cried a lot live on Facebook. So this said small victories that I had today. And I crossed that out and put gigantic victories I had today. I did a triple at kickboxing. So I did every class on that Saturday. And I'll tell you, I wasn't sure that I could do that. And knowing that I had pushed myself to way outside my comfort zone and accomplished it, I was so high leaving that kickboxing studio that I went live on Facebook and I cried about it. So I was pretty excited. Let's see here. Oh, Lauren, if you're watching, so on 10/10/2019, I'm grateful for Lauren and Evelyn and a clean house. So my best friend paid for my house to get cleaned because I watched her kid for her. And people that I loved seeing today, so that was the prompt. So Evelyn, if you're watching this, you'll love it. Evelyn's team, I've never been happier. So you guys, you understand? So now as you go through, and I get like towards the end, if I go towards where February is, on February 4th, things I'm thankful for. Knowing how to jumpstart my car. I must have had a dead battery. And things that made me feel good about myself today. My husband. So I don't know what he did, but apparently we have a great relationship because he's all over this. Let's see here. People whose company I enjoyed. Robin. People who made me laugh today. Casey. Things I want to remember from today. And the chicken head? I don't even know. February 9th. If that makes any sense to anybody, and the chicken head. Apparently I wanted to remember it. I don't remember it. So if you do remember it, let me know. Good thing someone did for me today. Amy made me that stuff. So anyways, you guys get the idea. Yeah, Amy, that's you. You were in my journal. I saw Amy there. The point being, as you read through these things, none of them are monumental. It's not like, oh, that thing I did for myself today. Oh, I won the lottery. Oh, that good thing I did for someone today. I cured cancer. If you're looking for the life-changing, oh my God, in your face moments to be thankful, you are constantly going to live in a state of anxiety because you are missing the small moments in life that pull you away from anxiety and allow you to live in a place of gratitude, which is the only way you can be present in the now. You cannot live in the current state feeling anxious for the future. They cannot coexist. I'm telling you right now, it is impossible. So if you find yourself as a person who's experiencing a lot of anxiety, it's because you are not practicing gratitude. And for $7, I just gave you the solution. So I am going to encourage each and every one of you to buy this. Comment below or post on my page and let me know. It doesn't have to be this. It can be any way that you want, but I'll tell you, if this is not a habit for you today and you are using a blank journal, figuring out how to journal about gratitude is incredibly, incredibly difficult. So when I see things like people whose company I enjoyed today, and it was my dad and Omar watching the Niners, that might not be something that I would have thought to write down in a journal, but the prompt made me think about it. And now, the best part about this is when I'm having those moments of anxiety, I can go through the journal and read through all of the things that I am grateful for in my life. Silly things that happened today. Julie singing "This Girl Is on Fire." They're just great moments. And this, my friends, is the cure for anxiety. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you for letting me pour my heart out to you tonight and getting a little vulnerable with my own personal journal. This journal is done. I am starting my new one tonight. And I will tell you, as I look at my first journal entry here, so I got to, make my date and everything like that. So I'm not ready to write it down yet. But it will say small victories I had today. I went live and shared my gratitude journal with all of my Drinking Buddies community. So thank you for that. I'm going to journal it tonight. I'm going to end this by telling you, in case you missed it in the beginning, My name is Danny Lozano. I am the business owner of the Drinking Buddies and the head of the DBC, the Drinking Buddies community. I am a professional solution finder, and if there is something missing in your life or a dream you want to chase and you just don't know how, reach out to me. Let me help you accomplish anything you want to do. Life is too short to wait for tomorrow. Let's make it happen today. So have a great night. Cheers. I will be back with you next Wednesday when we talk more about designing your life. Have a great night, guys.